Top 90 countdown, 45 to 31. All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus, and we're continuing our march down to number one, ranking the Vikings 90-man roster all the way down to one.
It's been a riveting series, getting tons of views, tons of talk about our series. I think it's going to be on ESPN pretty soon. But we are getting to the crux of the biscuit, as my great-grandma used to say, 45 to 31, getting to the heart of this lineup, approaching it as we hit the 31 mark.
I got to be honest, considering we started with all 90, I'm surprised nobody's been cut or anything. A transaction has not been made to completely screw this up, but let's do...
They're waiting for us. They're waiting for us to get done.
They are waiting for us. Let's do a quick recap of where we're at. Here were the pretty much, I guess we can speak highly of them. The end of the 90.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
Right here.
Yeah, and then we're getting 75 to 61. You got some starters in here, not starters, but guys who played quite a bit. Oli Udo's a starter. Chris Boyd started some games. Just not very good players. Garrett Bradbury came in at 55, which I think is probably the biggest. I don't know if it's a surprise, but definitely
not a surprise.
The guys played the most with the lowest ranking. Definitely him.
So there you go. Before we get in, remember, subscribe to the channel, like the videos. Here, talking Vikings every damn day. But let's start off. Who comes in at number 45?
Number 45, a guy who kind of snuck his way into the top 45, whether we forgot him or not. But a guy I do think is going to make this roster. I think he's going to have an impact this year. Actually, I'm going to say Blake Proehl is going to have a role in 2022.
Blake Proehl, the undrafted free agent, then he tears his ACL. This is like a movie waiting to happen. He sneaks in to the Onebar and Lupagus top 45. But, I mean, when you really look at it, 45 is not that far away from not even making the team. So while he did leapfrog a few other players, Blake Proehl did get me very intrigued last year. He was getting a lot of run from a lot of the reporters last year in training camp.
And he's got the voice of a damn angel.
He's got the voice of an angel. Next up at 44 is linebacker Blake Lynch. I would say overachieving linebacker Blake Lynch.
He's overachieving. He's not a guy I really want to see starting, but he comes in. I mean, there's been games where he's had like 10 tackles. I think that game where we got blown up by the Saints on Christmas, he was one of the better players on the field that day. He showed up. So Blake Lynch, a guy I hope makes this team and is still in that backup role because I do like me some Blake Lynch.
Yeah, he could be the demise of Troy Dye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Troy Dye was way farther down this list.
Next up, brand new shiny guard, Jesse Davis.
Yeah, Jesse Davis, you mentioned that he's going to be a guard. His PFF grades at tackle are much worse. Move him inside. Again, he's a veteran. We're going to respect the years he's put into this league already. So Jesse Davis, again, we haven't seen him up close and personal. Haven't got our own opinions on the guy. But right now, we're going to put him at 43.
Yeah, he doesn't get very good reviews from his previous teams. What I like about Davis is he should be like just the bottom of the depth chart. I want him on the roster, but I just want him hanging out there just for an emergency. I do not want to see him out there in a regular game.
Absolutely agree with you there. Let's see, 42 is our defensive end that we saw a little bit of. Patrick Jones, one of our third round picks from last year.
God, I don't remember seeing any of him, but I know he got out there. The reason he's this high, I mean, realistically, he should probably be lower, but we're giving him the benefit of the doubt. Zimmer probably didn't want him out there. He had a great college career. That's all I got.
Yeah, he was a little more like stoutly built than I expected to see. I thought he was going to be a little bit leaner. He seems to be a better run defender than a pass rusher at this point, but we'll see how this new regime decides to use our guy who came in at 42, Patrick Jones. And who's at 41? I think it's one of your favorites.
James freaking Lynch coming in at 41. How will the Vikings use him this year? We will find out, but something tells me he's going to have a solid 3.5 to 5.5 sacks in 2022. Maybe this is his moment. It's either he's going to shit or get out the pot. He's either going to get cut or they're going to find a role for him.
It's going to be interesting because if they ask him to do a traditional 5-tech, I don't think it's going to work out for him. He played in a 3-man front in college, but they basically just had him rush every time. So move him inside on a 4-3.
Worked out.
It did work out well, but it's not really what they're going to do. I don't think they're going to do that at the NFL level. So I don't know. We'll see where James Lynch comes in here. I do think he'll make the team. Again, how he's used is going to be the biggest question mark. Coming in at 40, another wide receiver, a guy who was kind of been forgotten, but starting to emerge again. His name's back on the radar. It's BC Johnson.
I have seen zero reports of him emerging again. But
The fact that he was running the fourth team, third. I mean, he was ahead of some guys. I thought maybe the new staff would. They respected his tenure with the team, where they had him on the depth chart.
Well, put it this way: when Justin Jefferson was a rookie, BC Johnson was running with the ones to give him that. So if he's running with the fours, that probably means he's like should be with the sixth or seventh.
Well, I thought he would actually be like running with the sixth and seventh already. So again, here's BC Johnson. Not overly, doesn't have great size, doesn't have great speed, but he runs good routes. He's got reliable hands. He knows how to find open spots in defenses. So he brings that kind of more of a cerebral wide receiver. No luck to make the team, but again, a guy who has produced when he's given a chance.
He has produced. We will give him that. I will be very surprised if he does make the final 53. But damn it, he makes our top 50.
He does. He makes the top 40 even. A guy who cracked the top 40 is hopefully our backup quarterback, Kellen Mond.
Kellen Mond, yes. And, it's interesting. A lot of our viewers, comments-wise, people are really either excited that Kellen Mond is getting a little bit of love from the coach, or they just completely hate him. They completely hate him. And I think we both agree on this. Let's just give him a chance, see what he can do. Let's not just stomp on his dick and his pride. Let's see what this man can do out there.
Yeah, he has to earn my hate. Right now, I am excited. I like the unknown factor. There's some upside with their backup quarterback, not Sean Mannion, Kellen Mond. See him beat that old man out.
All right, well, spoiler alert, I just gave up the last one.
You did.
Coming in at 38, our rookie defensive lineman, possibly edge rusher, Otto Meo.
Yeah, I think he's going to be playing with his hand in the dirt as a 5-tech. That's what he did mostly in college, but you never know. Again, fifth-round player, a guy who I think just looking at, the way he performed, especially as pro day, kind of knocking out all the workouts, you think his production in college would have been better. That's kind of, I think, why he fell to round 5. But first gopher drafted by the Vikings since Nate Triplett back in the early 2000s. Our hopes are high for Asese Atomeo.
Yeah, my hopes are high just because I'm not putting much stock in his numbers in college. I think he's one of those guys that are going to outperform those numbers in the NFL. I do think the Vikings will have a little bit of fun with this guy, putting his hand in dirt probably majority of the time, but I could see him going outside. So that's why he's this high for me, just the versatility. And I think we're going to see a ton of this guy as a rookie.
I hope so. We're going to look like damn fools putting him at 38.
All right, who's next?
Next is the guy everybody loves. The lunch pail guy, the hardworking blue collar, Kenny Willikis, the guy who keeps defying the odds. And he's got to do it again because I know he stood up and he rushed as an edge rusher in college, but he doesn't have great athletic ability. He's not dynamic. He's just a guy who gets by on pure effort. And I don't know if that's going to work every single snap in the NFL, but I do love me some Kenny Willikis.
Everybody loves Kenny Willikis. If this was my list, he'd probably come in somewhere around 3. Love this guy. I think he's actually going to thrive in that pass rushing role on the outside. I could see him having a nice 6 sacks and really making people look like fools for letting him fall to round 7.
Yeah, I hope he does. Again, the guy's been through so much. He walked down in college, got hurt in college, came back. His first year in the NFL, blew out his ACL, comes back from that. You just can't keep this guy down. You cannot keep Kenny Willikis down.
Well, the next one might be a little bit of a surprise. 5th round running back Ty Chandler.
Yeah, but don't just rule this guy out from not having a role this year. I kind of feel like they're going to put Ngwangu just as a special teamer, and I think when it comes to extra carries, I think Ty Chandler might get the majority of those. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's actually like the 3rd running back, and Kenny Ngwangu is just the special teams ace.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what they have up his sleeve for this guy. Take a 5th round running back when it's really not even a need. Clearly, they have expectations for him, but he's a special teamer too. He can catch balls. I think he's another one that we're going to see a lot of. Next up, what?
He's just a damn talented player. I mean, the fact he fell as far as he did and where he ended up in that running back, so many went before him. I think he's going to have a little chip on the shoulder too.
Ooh, I hope it's a Parmesan garlic chip. Those are the best ones.
Mm-hmm. Kettle ones. Next is another new face, a guy we have not seen up and close, a guy we have not learned to hate or love, and that's cornerback Nate Hairston.
Yeah, we could look real dumb for having him this high at some point. He's bounced around from a lot of teams. He's been on a lot of practice squads. He's kind of been all over the place, but I got a little probably higher hopes for him than I probably should. I think he's gonna be good. Former 5th rounders, was traded, but he can play slot, he can play outside. That's what I like about him. When you look at our cornerback room, I think he definitely has a chance to make this team.
You look at the cornerbacks we've been looking at the last couple of years, the Chris Boyds, Bashad Breelands, Mackenzie Alexander. We've seen some very, very bad cornerback play in the Vikings secondary the last couple of years. So
Somebody even say
Hairston.
naughty.
It's naughty, it's disgusting, and it makes me sick. So Hairston, we're going to hope that he's a little better than what we've seen.
Speaking of cornerback, we got back-to-back cornerbacks here.
We do. We got the man we stole from the Packers, slot man Chandan Sullivan. Again, we just said he's got to look better than Mackenzie Alexander. So the bar is not very high. It's down here. I mean, he could be horseshit and still be way better than Mackenzie Alexander was last year.
Show him some respect.
I'm just saying he could be. I'm not saying he's going to be. Chandan Sullivan.
I was talking about Mackenzie Alexander.
Oh, no, I'm not going to show him any respect. He was awful last year. Absolutely horrid.
Well, so was our coach. Maybe it had something to do with that.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Well, Sullivan's this high for me for one reason. He's a slot corner. That's where he's going to play. He's I would say above average to average slot corner, and I love it. I love the fact that he's going to be there. He's going to be reliable. Packers fans hated to see him go, so that makes him jump up at least 3 to 5 spots in my book anyways.
Yep. So he comes at 34. 33 is another wide receiver, Amir Smith Marsette, in year 2. And when we look at this, BC Johnson 40, Amir Smith Marsette, to me, looking at a pure talent standpoint, Amir Smith Marsette is the more talented player. He's got better wheels. I think he's got a little more swag to him as well. Amir Smith Marsette, very, very limited role last year, but he did have some moments where he's shown and showed his promise and his upside. So I'm excited what he does in year 2 in an offense that's going to use more 4 or 5 receiver sets.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how if Jalen Naylor can stay healthy, what they do with him, what they do with Smith Marsette. Smith Marsette also has been getting a look as a punt returner, so they're just trying to get him on the field. So absolutely. Next up, rookie cornerback. We got a cornerback run going here. Caleb Evans. Probably higher than he should be.
He's higher than he should be because he's handpicked. He's Kwesi's boy, Kwesi's golden boy. He wanted him in the 4th round when no one else did. He saw something in this guy. He talked about sitting in a dark room. This guy jumped off tape for him. So, and Caleb Evans, from what I've seen him, he's pretty interesting to follow on social media. He seems like the guy's got some pretty high character. So Caleb Evans, I think we're going to see a lot of Caleb Evans this year, and hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's all good.
Yeah, it appears that anybody who drafted him, which were the Vikings, were going purely off his measurables. He's a little rough around the edges as far as his technique and ball skills, but running a 4.46, I mean, that alone, and he's got decent size. So that's what they're banking off of. And again, we've said this multiple times, but I think this is a guy we're going to see a lot of as far as a rookie.
Yeah, and again, bar's not super high when it comes to cornerback depth. So
it's true.
May not have to look super great to be impressive to us. The last guy who comes in at 31 before we break the top 30 is DJ Wanham. I think I like DJ Wanham a little more than you do. The fact that he can get to the quarterback standing up or in the ground, I think this role is going to be pretty good for him, switching to the 3-4. We saw he had 8 sacks last year, and what he does is gets after the quarterback. He's not great against the run. And again,
hold on. He's horrible against the run.
Okay, whatever, fine.
No,
but
horrible.
He can get to the quarterback. He had the beautiful strip sack of Aaron Rodgers. He'll always be in our hearts for that.
Absolutely.
DJ Wanham, 31, very fair ranking for him.
I think it is very fair. That strip sack that should really grant him top 10 for this. But it's going to be interesting what he does this year, what they do with him. I look forward to seeing him outside. I hope next year when we do this, he's top 15. But the fact that how bad he is against the run, that's why that's where he comes in, And what do you have, 8 sacks last year, was it?
Yeah, I think it was 8 sacks.
So we'll take it. We'll definitely take the sacks. But DJ Wanham, 31, very fair. So that is where we land right now. Now we get into the meat and potatoes where we get in the 1 through 30, and I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to get real tense around here. A lot of debate, probably a lot of sweat, tears, poop stains as we figure out the top 30 here.
Really gross.
It is gross. Sorry.
All right, let us know in the comments, where did we really F up, and who would you had not in this list?
All right, and remember this, when you eat fruit, you're eating the plant's ovaries.